What has just happened? In one of the most confusing things I've seen in a long time in the NBA. The biggest analytics guy in the NBA, Darryl Murray, has just basically been signed on to the backroom staff of the Philadelphia 76ers. This doesn't make sense. And the funny thing is that this is a case of a great group of players, a great coach, and I don't care what people want to say about Doc Rivers blowing a couple of 3-1 leads. He's a great coach. It's a great group of players, a great coach, as well as a great guy, a great analytic mind in Darryl Murray. The problem is that how is this meant to work? How is this meant to work? Like, I just don't see it. I just have no idea. I have no idea how this is meant to work. You're going to have a GM who is the polar opposite of their coach, and you're going to have players that just are the polar opposite of the GM. I don't know what the hell's happening. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about some just crazy scenarios that might end up happening with the Sixers. So, first of all, there's Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers it's not that he's not as anti-analytics as people try to suggest. Like, I've seen some people saying he was purely fired because of analytics, but a big reason they say in here he was fired because of Michael Porter Jr. and they're furious for tagging MPJ as undraftable because they had 2 picks in a row that they didn't take MPJ. But in one of those picks, they took Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's probably going to be better than MPJ, who I'm convinced is going to be better than MPJ. But apparently he went against the analytics team who said MPJ should have been draftable, and he used his own initiative to say that he was undraftable. But that's not that dumb a move. He took Shai. Like, if he had gone and taken, I can't even remember who went. Well, MPJ went 14th. I don't know. If he'd taken someone else except for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, then maybe you could argue that. But, like, he took the best option at number 12. Yeah, Jerome Robinson's not great, but, like, he still got Shai. But the whole thing is that Doc Rivers more so makes decisions based on what he thinks is right, and goes against analytics an awful lot. And that's kind of where a bit of the problem is that Darryl Murray is a coach that will go on the analytics, or Darryl Murray is a GM that will go on the analytics more than anything. And I don't believe if a coach and a GM, and it's not even that they don't like each other, because Phil Jackson and Jerry Krause hated each other, but Krause ended up getting good players for the Bulls. Problem is that there's 2 different philosophies, and that's why I don't think it makes much sense. Also, how the hell is Darryl Murray? What's he going to do with these guys? Is he going to trade one of them? Is he not going to trade one of them? Because he played PJ Tucker at center. He played PJ Tucker at center for the Houston Rockets. Darryl Murray, 1,000,000% bought in to the analytics, get up threes, play fast, we don't need big men are outdated type system. And the Sixers basically have 3 bigs. I get it, Ben Simmons is a ball handler, but like, he can't score from more than 4 feet away. You've got EMBIID who can't really shoot, and Horford's a center. 3 of their best 4 players are centers. Well, are interior big men, basically. So, I find it hard to believe that if Darryl Murray's the GM, that these 2 guys stay. I just find it hard to believe. And then, also, as far as I'm aware, Elton Brand's still there. I just don't. This is one of the most confusing franchises ever. Well, basically, since at least Hinkie had a plan. His plan was definitely flawed, just constantly get more draft picks and eventually hit on some. But like, since Hinkie's gone, all they've done is traded up for Markelle Fultz, which most teams would have done. No one would have predicted Markelle Fultz would get the yips. Trade for Jimmy Butler, which was a smart thing to do. But then they gave up like a Shamet for Tobias Harris, which there was no need to do. And he also signed Al Horford to a max deal for no reason other than to just get him off the Celtics. Like, that's the only logic behind the Al Horford deal, was just get rid of him, get him off the Celtics. They could have used some of that money to keep Redick. And then, who knows? Simmons doesn't get injured. Maybe to make the finals. Well, to keep Redick, sorry. But, yeah, it's just a really, really confusing one. So, what do I think is going to happen? This puts to bed, though. This fully puts to bed the rumors that Darryl Murray was, like, forced to step down because of what he said about China if he got hired straight away. At least it puts to bed those rumors. Because they were very, very prevalent. Because I think it was like a day after they said they were going to show the NBA Finals. So it puts to bed those rumors. In fact, he's right back in the NBA. But I just don't see how this fits. You've got a coach who's, I think, one of the best coaches in the world. You've got a team that just doesn't fit together. And, like, they're supremely talented. The Sixers are supremely talented. Like, as you guys can even see from these pictures, 4 guys who in any given year can be an all-star. They are supremely talented. Just the problem with the Sixers is that they just don't fit. Yes, Murray's going to add more shooting around them, but everyone, you kind of have to add more shooting around that Philadelphia 76ers team. No matter who the GM was, that's what they, or that's what they need to do. The problem is, though, again, it's a team that doesn't suit the philosophy of the GM. And I don't see either Doc Rivers changing his outlook on the sport or Darryl Murray changing his outlook on the sport. I can't see how this ends well. I just can't. It's either going to be a case of Darryl Murray picking his team and then just Doc Rivers just having to coach whatever he gets, like basically a Moneyball scenario. Or you've got other people that are just letting Doc Rivers kind of choose the players he wants to coach, and Darryl Murray is just kind of there to be Darryl Murray. Because, like, every team has analytics, guys. Every team has the same analytics. The difference between the Rockets and a lot of other teams was that the Rockets bought into it. Like, every team, you're not just, like, the Rockets don't have any magical formulas for analytics that other teams don't have access to. The difference is that they fully bought into the analytics. And you've got a team that doesn't suit, that like is like an basketball analyst's nightmare, as well as a coach who's kind of, even though he's not heavily against analytics, he's not going to buy into the analytics. He's not going to buy into the analytics to make a decision. He might use analytics to help his decisions, but he's not going to buy fully into the numbers. Whereas you've got a GM who will do that. So this is a scenario that I don't see working. Like, a hypothetical situation, some people are arguing that it's like a perfect team because you've got Doc Rivers' ability to like coach players with a bit of Darryl Murray's analytics, and then you've got some talent, and it's going to be a perfect blend. But that's not looking at the bigger picture. That analytics are just numbers unless you know what to do with them. Analytics don't mean, like, knowing what a player's true shooting percentage, all this stuff, it doesn't mean anything unless, one, you know how that affects the game, and two, all these analytics, if you decide to get all the analytics and ignore them, they don't matter. You gotta fully buy into it. And I can't see Ben Simmons buying into analytics. I can't see Joel Embiid buying into analytics. And I can't see Doc Rivers doing it. So, I just don't see this being a success. Darryl Murray needed to go to somewhere where there was a coach that bought into it as well, an owner that bought into it as well, because that is the only way that this type of Moneyball system works, is if everyone buys in, and I don't see that happening in Philadelphia. I could be wrong. I really could be wrong. And you know what? I hope I am wrong, because seeing if somehow the Sixers end up getting to a finals, a championship, who doesn't like watching Embiid dominate? Who doesn't like watching Ben Simmons, this 7-foot-tall point guard, dribbling the whole way down the court, jamming it on everybody? Who doesn't like watching basketball like that? I love the Philadelphia 76ers team 2018. I thought they were going to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. I didn't mind them with Jimmy. I don't mind watching them play, but it doesn't fit, and I don't see it changing. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Very, very confusing. Not much structure, just kind of this video talking about this scenario that I just never thought would happen, and something that I don't think makes sense. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.